Girls. This is Mrs. Byrer, and I'm going to do Lesson 6, Colonial Economics. On the left side, we have three words that are in yellow. Those are our focus words: triangular trade, middle passage, and industry. At the bottom of the page, what we're going to be learning in this unit, A, in the orange box, it says, colonists ignored laws that England passed to regulate colonial trade. B, ships on the triangular trade routes moved cargo and enslaved Africans. And C, each colony developed an economy based on the resources of its region. So these are the things that influenced the development of colonial economics. So let's go ahead and look at page 131, colonial trade. Between 1651 and 1764, England passed trade laws to control what and how the colonists could trade. The laws also controlled what colonists could make. To earn a profit, many colonists ignored the laws and turned into smuggling. England wanted the colonists to buy their manufactured goods. For this reason, England made it illegal for the colonies to manufacture goods that competed with English goods. For example, it was illegal for the colonists to make hats, nails, and horseshoes. English trade laws, called the Navigation Acts, listed goods that the colonies could sell only to England or its colonies. These included farm products such as sugar, tobacco, lumber, cotton, wool, and indigo. English trade laws. The English charged the colonists high shipping costs. England used the raw materials from the colonies to make manufactured goods and exported them to other countries for huge profits. In 1663, a new trade law said everything the colonies imported had to first be shipped to England and taxed. This made money for England, but raised the price of imports in the colonies. Colonists claimed England was destroying their economy. Some colonists began to smuggle or secretly import goods. They also traded in foreign ports and allowed ships from other countries into their ports. Luckily for colonists, England was far away, so it was difficult for the English government to make sure laws were being followed. At the bottom here, we have a quick check, something to think about. What happened after England imposed taxes on trade goods? And at the bottom, this is a busy port in Boston in the 1600s. Let's go ahead and look at page 132, world trade. In 1675, King Charles II formed a committee to oversee colonial trade. This committee was formed to make sure the colonists were following trade laws. Its members soon learned that Boston Harbor was crowded with Dutch ships and ships from other countries. The colonists were unlawfully trading with Europe, the Caribbean, and Africa. Many colonists in Massachusetts were upset by the English trade laws. They did not want to follow the laws they thought were harmful to the colony. New England's shipbuilding industry and economy grew as a result of this illegal trade in other countries. As one historian said, selfishness of the English trade laws was digging a wedge between the mother country and the colonists. Triangular trade. Ships on the triangular trade routes sold products and picked up cargo at each stop. This came to be known as the triangular trade because the routes formed triangles on the map. The triangular trade made many merchants rich, especially in the New England colonies. Using their wealth, merchants in northern cities began trading with the southern colonies, exchanging northern fish, rum, and grain for southern rice, tobacco, and indigo. The illustration on this page shows how the colonial trade routes formed triangles. At the bottom, here's a quick check. Something to think about. Why did ship owners keep their ships filled with cargo on every leg of the voyage? Well, let's look at this triangular trade, and let's look at number 1 at the top of page 132. On the first leg of the route, traders sailed from New England to Africa with goods such as iron, rum, and gunpowder. These goods were traded for African captives. From there, on the second leg of the route, the traders took the African captives to the West Indies. This part of the route was called the Middle Passage because it was the middle part of the three-sided trade. In the West Indies, the Africans were sold into slavery. And then let's go to 3. On the third leg, the ship captains bought sugar and molasses, a thick syrup made from sugar cane grown in the West Indies. It was shipped to the ports in the Middle and New England colonies. The molasses was sold and made into rum. So kiddos, if you get a chance, look at the arrows and the lines, the different colors. You'll see red, yellow, and blue, and that kind of helps you understand the triangular trade. Regional economics. Now that you've read about the triangular trade, let's find out what each region produced and exported. Each region's economy was based on its resources, industries, and the hard work of its people. New England. Most of New England's soil was too rocky for farming. Many farmers there grew fruits and vegetables for themselves, but not enough to export. New Englanders needed other ways to earn a living. The forest provided lumber for the shipbuilding industry. An industry is all the businesses that make one kind of product or provide one kind of service. Wood was cheap in New England, where there was a good supply of trees. Logs were cut and tossed into rivers where they floated to towns and shipyards. Soon, Boston's shipbuilding industry competed with English shipbuilders. New Englanders also made excellent fishing boats, and fishing became a profitable industry. Cod was New England's cash crop. The Middle Colonies. Farmers in the Middle Colonies could supply just about everything they needed for a picnic. They grew wheat for bread and raised dairy cattle for cheese. Farmers shipped these products to New York City and Philadelphia. From there, they were exported to other countries. These port cities also became centers of businesses. Printers, shoemakers, cabinet makers, and other craft workers opened shops there. If you'll look at the data graphic, major colonial exports, and then it'll show you there's a bar graph, and it has tobacco, wheat, fish, rice, and indigo, and it shows you how many pounds were exported in 1770. And then below, there is a picture that shows you the orange is the New England colonies, the purple is the Middle colonies, and then we have the Southern colonies in the pink. Here are a couple things to think about. What was New England's major export, and which region's exports had the most value? Let's go ahead and look at page 135. At the top, we have a picture of Colonial general stores sold many of the manufactured goods people needed. The Southern colonies. The hot, humid climate and good soil of the Southern colonies were well suited to growing crops. Tobacco and rice made many plantation owners wealthy in the Southern colonies. At first, these products were shipped only to England. Later, they were shipped all over the world. Another crop grown in the Southern colonies was indigo, a plant used to make blue dye. English merchants needed the blue dye from indigo for their huge cloth-making businesses. The tobacco, rice, and indigo trades brought great wealth to the Southern colonies. Here's a quick check, something to think about. Why did each region have a different economy? And then once again, our 3 vocabulary words for this little section: triangular trade, industry, middle passage. Thank you, boys and girls. I hope you're having a great day.